guys, it's your girl Matt Cox from A Couture Crafting. I am your Quilty BFF, and welcome to day 4 of our holiday series, What to Give the Quiltress or Quiltor in Your Life. I don't think that's what I've called it any other day, but we're talking about gift giving, we're talking about holiday gifts, and today is going to be a really interesting day. I was very excited to do this day for you because I think it's a little bit different. Today we're going to talk about quilty clothing and quilty books. So first on my list, I figured I'd just start myself out by pushing all my own merch. Why not? You guys know that I have the cool stuff. Now I have the Pop Quilter shirts, but now we have the Quilter shirts. We have the Quilters in Training shirts. We have the Cut with Courage shirts. We have all of them that are available now. They have not been available all year, but now they are available. I think this makes an amazing gift, but also now we have a sweatshirt, and the sweatshirt is one of those established sweatshirts, and it's the Quiltress established sweatshirt. I love this for whenever you consider yourself becoming a quiltress, jumping into this world, or when you feel like you really made it to quiltress status. It's up to you however you want to interpret it, but it is custom to you. I think this is probably the coolest thing that I have done all year, and they are now available. So if you want yours, go on ahead and go onto my website and put in your order and put in the year that you want, and it is definitely a conversation starter. First of all, people don't see the word quiltress all the time, and then they want to know what the established is, and is that your year, yada yada yada. Mine says 2019 because that is the year when I first started quilting and fell in love with all of this. So yes, my shirts, all the things, very my style, very my brand, Quilty BFF stuff, all that, yes, that's available. But it's not just me who's got the cool shirts. The next person with the coolest shirts in town is gonna be Goldie Lou's. Y'all are always asking me when I have on my really cool t-shirts, where's it from, who did it, and usually it's a Goldie Lou's shirt. Now be sure that you are buying directly from Goldie Lou's. She's had some issues with people stealing her stuff lately, and I mean stealing like the imagery and everything and doing their knockoff versions, and that's just not right. We want to be sure to support the quilty businesses directly. So Goldie Lou's, they have the cool t-shirts. I think my favorite is, I think it's the Blessed Are the Quilt Makers, or Blessed Are the Quilt Makers, for they are the peacekeepers, or something along those lines. No, I think my favorite is the Scissors. I don't know. They have some, I have quite a few of their shirts, and they have a ton of good ones. I'll put up a couple, of course, here. But yes, Goldie Lou's, one of my favorites. I actually found a couple of other brands this year that I want to bring light to. We've got Bee Inspired Quilts, and here is one of their amazingly cool designs. And then we have Stella Vita, also a very cool design if this is your vibe, something a little different. And then of course the one, the only Latifah, and you guys ask me about her shirt all the time. So this year, was it this year? Was it earlier this year? Yes, it was definitely this year where Kendrick Lamar dropped that song, They Not Like Us, and she's got the quilting machine, the sewing machine that has those words in there. It was very, very popular. It's a thing. But she also has quite a few very cool t-shirts that I really enjoy. And if you just like quilty t-shirts, you might want to check your favorite artists, because a lot of them have shirts that you can support. I know Rashida Coleman Hale had one that my girlfriend had on that I thought was so cute. I was like, who's that? She's like, this is actually Rashida's shirt. I was like, very cool. Sometimes they have shirts that match their quilt lines and that kind of thing. But yes, I also have quilty hats too that are for sale. I forgot about that. You can get your quilty apparel from my website, A Couture Crafting. Now let's jump into these books. My girlfriend was here hanging out at my studio, and she was going through my growing library, and she saw this book. I'm like, what? She freaked out. And I was like, what is going on? She was like, this is one of the most amazing books in regards to color. She was like, I would take this book right from you if I could. I was like, what? She's like, yeah. She's like, he really explains how putting a color up against a different color can really change what that color is doing, what its meaning is, so on and so forth. She says this is probably the best that I could have, and I look forward to getting into this. I haven't gotten into it. I don't know what made me get it, but I guess anything about color, I usually Google stuff about color. I'm sure this probably had some really good reviews. So again, this is Joseph Alber's Interaction of Color. Love that. My favorite book of all time is this one here, Whiz Bang. You see, I've even got some notes here, and this is by Rachel Daisy. Sometimes you need something that's a little different. We do quilts, we do them very, very similarly all the time, but I like something a little different every now and then, whether it be like one of these cushions or a bag or just something. I like to see things that are different, that are done well, and she has this technique of doing these guys right here, her Whiz Bang, and I fell in love with it. I fell in love with the process. I fell in love with the colors that she uses. This is my favorite book. I go back to it. I've done some of the techniques. I've played with it. She has a quilt that I just think, can I find it really quickly? Oh, she's got several, because again, this is her technique, and the way that she uses it is just amazing, with so much texture and dimensionality. But there's this one quilt that I love in here, and I don't see it right off the top of my, oh, where is it? Oh, I don't see it. It's okay. Here's one of her quilts. How amazing is she? Such a vibe. Again, one of my favorites. If you're not familiar with Victoria Finley Wolfe, it's not your fault, but you might be under a rock. I don't know. This is one of those books that I kind of feel like is a coffee table book. Yes, it does have some patterns and stuff in it, but she's really just, it's kind of like a love letter to quilting, to the world. She says, connect with the emotional core of quilting and enjoy your place in a vibrant quilting community where creativity and camaraderie thrive. And I think that is the best description of this book. Obviously, she did it, so it would be. But it's a beautiful book. I've enjoyed reading some of it. I had it on the plane with me. And I just think it's beautiful. I think it's something that everybody can take a little something away from. And plus, you get to see some of her beautiful works of art. If you don't know what she's most famous for, it's probably her double wedding ring style quilts. Here's something that I think is important that we haven't seen a whole bunch. I haven't anyway. This is going to be Learn to Quilt, the Bilingual Guide. And they are finding more and more pattern and pattern makers to translate into Spanish, because they haven't been able to work with our patterns before. And I think that Laura and Lena are doing amazing work in that area. They're popping up everywhere. I'm seeing them at conventions, and they are just opening up our world to be way more inclusive. And as a woman of color in a somewhat colorless niche, you know, it's nice. I get it. I understand the need for these kinds of things. So yes, Learn to Quilt, Bilingual Guide. I was able to pick that up in Houston, and yeah. Okay, so here we are now. I didn't know that I actually had this book. I talked about this book earlier. This is Carolina Moore's 10-inch square quilt block book. I forgot I picked this up in Houston. This has got 40 different layer cake quilts in it. She nailed it. Great book. Again, I love books because they're easy to wrap. Do you guys actually consider the wrapping when you're buying presents? I know. She's got some beautiful patterns in here. There's one of her quilts. Just a good time. Just a beautiful good time. I also got this book. Oh, no, we'll save that one because that's my favorite. Let's look at this one. The Encyclopedia of Pieced Quilt Patterns. They're amazing. I didn't know that there were so many quilt blocks. They do not tell you how to put them together, but they do give you the names and kind of give you the years that they believe that they were created, so on and so forth. If you just want to look at quilt blocks all day, this is your jam. So many different variations. This is why I say there's really nothing new under the sun in the quilt world. I tell you, when you're thinking about trying to come up with something new, like a new quilt block, good luck, because it's probably already been done. And that will show you. That is another one of those coffee table books. I think that's a great one. Now, here we are. This is definitely one of my favorites. You guys probably have seen this. This is going to be Walk by Jackie Gehring. She actually was the keynote speaker in QuiltCon a couple of years ago. What I like about this is one of the things that I think a lot of quilters get nervous about is the actual quilting of a quilt. And this is stuff that you can do. All of us can do straight line quilting, but she's figured out the geometry of it all to make your straight line quilting look amazing and showcase your quilts in ways that you didn't even know was possible. She teaches you how to use some of the stitches on your machine to create different things. This is a great book because, again, everybody can plot some points and get your walking foot on there and walk across a quilt. And bonus points if you get 2.0. 2.0 is actually my favorite. I don't know why. I just like the patterns in here a little bit more. And when I was attempting to quilt stuff myself, I did indeed use my Jackie Gehring books. I've read through every page of both of those. All right. This one here is my favorite. This one just came out brand new. Christina West and Casey Crutchfield brought this out. If this isn't the cutest thing in the world, I had to have it because I saw everybody else walking around with it. It was definitely a FOMO moment. And then once I got into it and got a chance to open it up and look at it a little bit, it kind of, it's all the things. It's all the techniques. They're all in here. From choosing fabrics, color schemes, contrast, all the things, to block assembly, to English paper piecing, quilt maintenance. It is the book that will teach you to do the things. If you might need to refer to it, it's a step-by-step guide to patchwork and quilting. I think it's just perfect. It was the perfect color. It was the perfect time to bring it out. I love, love, love this. So check this one out. It's called The Quilting Book, Tools, Fabrics, Techniques, and Projects. And I hope you guys enjoyed today. Today was a fast one, but clothing and books as gifts. Can it get any better? I don't know that it can. All right, guys, I will catch you on the next one. Bye-bye.